Long ago, in Hanura, Lord Ryumori Yamamoto constructed the most impressive of castles. This great stronghold was built atop a steep mountain known as the Spear of Serenity, overlooking the Valley of Flutes and its many productive farms. The only way to reach the castle was by crossing the Twin Arch Bridge. It was a wondrous stone passage that spanned from the adjacent mountain over a treacherous ravine. Yamamoto Castle was heralded as the most defensible in the land, impossible to be taken by enemy forces. After a time, a troll came to live under the Twin Arch Bridge, a nasty she-troll with an insatiable appetite. From time to time, she ate people or livestock that crossed the bridge. This caused a horrible problem for Lord Ryumori and his region. He dispatched a brave samurai, Katsutaka, to slay the troll. Though he was a powerful swordsman, the troll was able to withstand his attacks, and she ate him. Next, the Lord sent Masaki, a more learned samurai and expert tactician. He brought a squad of footmen with him. They wielded polearms and flaming arrows to keep their distance. But when the afternoon rains came, the fires were snuffed, and the wet ground reduced their mobility. The troll appeared then and ate Masaki. Kazumitsu the Shugenja then went to the mountain bridge. He could control things such as rain and wind and fire. He burned the troll and stayed away from her deadly teeth and claws. For a moment, it seemed he would prove victorious, but when the troll flailed one of her arms in an attempt to cool the burning, the force caused the arm to fly off. The hand took hold of Kazumitsu's neck and choked out his ability to utter his spells. He was eaten as well. Lord Ryumori was furious. He was deeply troubled at the disruption the troll was causing to his land. Swallowing his pride, he paid a wise man named Merujan from Gurunzidi to solve the problem. The erudite master brought another she-troll in a cage hauled by an elephant. He claimed that his troll would kill or drive off the local one, then he would command her back into her cage, and she would go. The two trolls indeed had a bitter fight, and they fell from a ledge into the ravine and out of sight. Merujan called for his troll, but she did not appear. After 2 weeks without a single troll incident, it was announced that they had died. There was a celebration, during which Merujan became exceedingly drunk on flower liquor and danced upon the bridge. Both trolls leapt out from underneath, took hold of the wise man, and tore him in two. Now, instead of one troll, the bridge was menaced by two. Not only did the amount of attacks double, but the she-trolls could be heard bickering with one another day and night. Commerce along the road to the castle reduced to a trickle. People began to abandon the Valley of Flutes. No one would admit publicly that their homeland was unsafe, and that their lord was incapable of protecting it. But more and more families suddenly had pressing matters or lucrative opportunities that took them elsewhere. Lord Ryumori was infuriated by the humiliation. He declared an all-out war against the trolls. His advisors suggested that the bridge be demolished and a great stairway be hewn into the slope of the mountain. The lord screamed at them, saying that such a stairway would be precariously steep and impractical for the transport of goods. Furthermore, collapsing their own grand bridge would only add to the dishonor of the situation. Court alchemists were tasked with creating scores of fire pots. Whole companies of soldiers led by samurai went to the Twin Arch Bridge. They tossed volleys of alchemist's fire, sent heavy stones crashing down the chasm, taunted the giant monsters, and even built a platform that extended out from the edge of the drop-off, providing a better view. They only managed to agitate the trolls, who emerged here and there to snatch away soldiers. Little by little, the trolls picked off the men. Due to the steep terrain, there simply was no viable way to make proper use of the soldiers' numbers. Weeks passed with abysmal morale. Stinking drunk and delirious from the tribulations, Lord Ryumori went to the bridge himself to confront the trolls. He rode a mule-drawn wine cart laden with barrels. In one hand he held a flask of flower liquor, and in the other, a scroll of noble entitlement given to his great-great-grandfather by the Hanu prince. On the bridge, he shouted for the trolls to come face him. They climbed up from below and saw the drunken lord. The stink of flower liquor wafted from his heavy cart, and he tipped back the flask between shouts. The trolls encircled the lord, licking their lips. There could be no finer meal than him. As they pounced, he threw his drinking flask to the ground. It had been a ruse. He had only drenched himself and the cart in flower liquor. Nor was it wine that the containers held. The clay flask shattered into a burst of angry flame, which burned into the barrels filled with alchemist's fire and soaked in strong spirits. An explosion blasted through the bridge, destroying a section of it and sending the debris and bodies to crash in fiery wreckage at the bottom of the ravine. The few remaining residents of Yamamoto Castle abandoned the place, and to this day, the Spear of Serenity is considered a cursed ruin.